morning all. Am I audible to you all? If yes, then please comment fast. Then we'll start our class. You have done the homework or not? What is physics? That is physics now. This is physics, sir. Okay, so please comment fast. Am I audible to you? Tell your friends to join fast. Decrease of all mic. Okay, so tell your friends to join and we'll proceed. So how many people have done the homework? Solid state. Solid state over. Can we discuss solid state now? Okay, doubts in solid state chapter, tell me. Doubts in solid state chapter. Question number 9. An element occurring in BCC structure has this unit cell. The total number of atoms of the element in this cell. Okay, so BCC, one unit cell contains 2 atoms. Because Z is equals to 2 in BCC, one unit cell contains 2 atoms. So 12.08 into 10 power 23 unit cell will contain how many? So multiply by 2 will get 24.16 into 10 power 23 atoms. Question number 9 done. Then question number 8 and 18. Okay. What is question number 8? Question number 8 is saying that the radius of Na plus is 95 and that of Cl minus is 181. Predict the coordination number. That is easy, right? Yesterday I gave you radius ratio. Question number 8. R plus by R minus 95 by 181 will divide. Once you will divide, then whatever value you get, you find out the range. Which range it is? It will give you 6 coordination number. It will come somewhere 0.5, which will lies in the range of 0.4142 0.732. Question number 18 also. Question number 18 is, okay, in a face center, this question is good. Try to understand this question. Question number 18. In a face-centered cubic arrangement of A and B atom, whose A atom are at the corner of the unit cell. So, if you draw a cube for this compound, what they are saying is A atoms are at the corner. So, if this is A atom, corner, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A corner, right? And they are saying B atom at the face center. So B atom at the face center, which will draw face diagonal. So this is your B atom. One more face diagonal, B atom. One more face diagonal, B atom. One more face diagonal, B atom. Face diagonal, B atom. Face diagonal, B atom. Then what they are saying is, one of the A atom is missing from its corner in the unit cell. So now one of the A atom is gone. If it is gone, so you remove it from any corner. From any corner I have removed. It means now it is not there. So how many atoms are there for A? Initially there was 8, but 1 is gone now. So 7 into 1 by 8. 7 by 8. How many B are there? 6 into 2, 6 into 1 by 2, right? So we get 3. Now I take a ratio of A is to B. 7 by 8 is to 3, or 7 is to 24, or A7B 24. Any other doubt, beta? Any other doubt? Okay, after this I told you which chapter? I told you, I think so, P block, right? Doubts in P block? Say on this side. P block? P block, any doubt? What happened to Samia? Samia did not solve today problems? P block, any doubts? What is the next chapter I gave in the homework? Other than P block? I gave 3 chapters, I think so. Question number 13. Which of the following is basic in nature? So what happens is, H3PO3, as we know, it is acidic because it's a phosphorus acid. Now what happens is, H3PO3, if you arrange them in the group wise, then arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Okay. Which of the following is basic in nature? Moving down, the acidity decreases or basicity basic is H3BiO3. What was the next chapter I given in the homework other than solid state and P block? Right, surface chemistry. I gave surface chemistry also. Doubt in surface chemistry? Doubt in surface chemistry? Question number 4. Which of the following has the largest protecting power? So, protecting power is inversely proportional to gold number. Protecting power is inversely proportional to gold number. Whoever has the least gold number has largest protecting power. Question number 11. The coagulating of 10 centimeter of gold soil is completely prevented by addition of 0.025 grams. So that is easy. Gold number definition you should memorize. It talks about amount of protective colloids. Amount of protective colloids required in milligrams. Required in milligrams. How much is required right now? 0.025 gram. Can you convert into milligram? So 1 gram equals to 1000 milligrams. Multiply by 1000. 25 milligram in 10 ml. So 25 is gold number. Sir, what is gold number? Gold number definition of writing. The amount of protective colloids required in milligram to prevent the coagulation or to prevent the precipitation. To prevent the precipitation of colloids is known as gold number. Is known as gold number. So if you require less amount, its protective power is more. That's your protecting power is inversely proportional to gold number. Are we done? Done with all 3 chapter solutions? Yes or no, beta? Okay, so now what is it today chapter? Tell me. Who will tell me? What is the today chapter name? So today chapter name is chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics. Okay. So Prithvi, not kinematics. Kinetics. Kinematics goes to physics. This is kinetics. Okay, so let's take any reaction. A gives me product P. A gives me P product. Whenever A gives me product, there are some things which I should know. By default, those are true. The concentration of reactant will decrease. Concentration of reactant will decrease. Another point I know is concentration of product will increase. Understand? The next point is, if concentration of reactant decreases, the rate of reaction also decreases. Which reaction? Rate of forward reaction decreases, whereas here rate of backward reaction increases. Now, as you have this, what I can do is I can draw a graph. Concentration graph, time graph. Concentration graphs and time graphs. So when you have reactant, its concentration decreases, and when you have product, initially there is no product, so then concentration increases. Okay, so this is what this is, concentration of product. This is what concentration of reactant. Correct? Then I want to define rate. To define rate, how do I define rate? Rate is equals to change in concentration of reactant or product divided by time taken. Divided by time taken. Okay. Divided by time taken. Now, this side. So when you have this, so let's take a reaction of some reaction such as 2NH3 gives rise to N2 plus 3H2. Okay. So if I want to write rate of this reaction, so the rate of this reaction depends on this ammonia. So change in concentration of reactant is ammonia divided by time. Okay. So what we write is, we write that change, and we most of the time write. So there are two types of rate. One is known as instantaneous rate. One is known as average rate. We most of the time will talk about is not average. We'll talk about most of the time is instantaneous rate. So instantaneous rate is denoted by D, small d. So for being like this, we'll write like this: d of NH3 by dt. d of NH3 by dt. This is known as rate of disappearance of ammonia. Rate of disappearance of ammonia. The reason here is because when you write final minus initial, change means final minus initial. Reactant final concentration will be lesser than the initial concentration because it's a reactant. So this value will come negative. So when this value is negative, we call it it's negative. But velocity cannot be negative. So we call that as term as rate of disappearance. If I want to write for N2, so d of N2 by dt. this will become rate of appearance of nitrogen. Then I can write d of H2 by dt, that will be known as rate of appearance of H2. Okay, now then what I say, this is R, this is named as rate of reaction. So how they are related, all four? So all four related like this. You see, this is very critical. Okay, R is equal, so this is always positive value, whereas this is a negative value. So to make it positive, these two are positive only, but this is negative. To make it positive, I am going to multiply by minus d of NH3 by dt. Okay, but then what happens is 2 moles get dissociated to form 1 mole. So they are not directly equals. But if you make for 1 mole, you should divide by 2 here. That means what? 1 by 2 is equals to, there is 1 by 1 d of N2 by dt. Then 1 by 3 d of H2 by dt. This is the expression which you should be able to write very fastly. Understood? Understood? All people? So, question here. Write differential rate relation for the following reaction. 2SO2 plus O2 gives rise to 2SO3. Do this question. You get 1 minute to do it. Got the answer? Easy. Okay, so the answer goes like this. That is easy. R equals to minus 1 by 2 d of SO2 by dt is equals to minus 1 by 1 d of O2 by dt equals to 1 by 2 d of SO3 by dt. How many people correct this? Tell me, how many people correct? Got the same answer? Okay, so now what happens is, I'm going to talk about rate law, which basically I've already taught you. Syam. So I'm going to talk you about rate law, which I already told you something. So now what happens is, if you take a reaction such as H2O2 gives rise to H2O plus half O2. Okay, and if you write the rate, it's the same thing here. So what you will write, R of minus of D of H2O2 by dt is equals to 1 by, or not 1, simply we can write D of H2O divided by dt plus, not plus, equals to 1 by 2 D of O2 by dt. Okay, this is the equation I can write. Now what happens is this. I want to relate this R to the concentration of this. Concentration of reactant. So what rate law says that? Rate law says that rate of any reaction is directly proportional to the product of active masses of reactant raised to power equal to experimentally determined value. So rate of any reaction is directly proportional to the product of active mass of reactant raised to power equal to experimentally determined value. Okay, now what happens means, if I want to write this rate of any reaction, is directly proportional to the product of active mass of reactant. Reactant is this only. So H2O2 active mass is denoted in the square bracket. Okay. Power equal to experimentally determined value. So most of the time we take this reaction, that experimentally determined value as stoichiometry. So this is known as a stoichiometric coefficient for elementary reaction. Those reactions which occur in single step, for them this experimentally determined value is also known as stoichiometric coefficient. So here stoichiometric coefficient is 1. So then I write R equals to K of H2O2 power 1. Understand? This is known as rate law. This is known as rate law or rate equation. Now in this case, this 1 is known as order. This 1 is known as order. And summation of all stoichiometric coefficient is equals to molecularity. So what is order? Order is power in the rate equation. And what is molecularity? Molecularity is total summation of stoichiometric coefficient. point here is it can be positive, negative, fraction or even zero. It could be positive, negative, fraction or zero. Whereas stoichiometricity will always be positive, integer, but not greater than 3. Positive integer but not greater than 3. It means what are the molecularity? 1, 2 or 3 sometimes. That's all. So molecularity values are 1, 2, 3. Whereas order would be positive, negative, fraction or 0. Molecularity is 1, 2, 3. That's all. Done now? Okay, so once you finish that side, then we have first order kinetics. This is the most important kinetics. First order kinetics. First order kinetics. Now first order kinetics is simply I write A gives rise to P, R equals to K Ca power 1. And instead of writing in a square bracket, I am writing in Ca, okay? And this could be written as minus of d of Ca by dt. These two must be equal. So I get minus dCa by dt equals to kCa. We take Ca, we apply a method called variable separation method to solve differential equation. So we get dCa by Ca equals to k dt. We put integration sign 0 to time t Ca naught to Ca. Ca naught is known as initial concentration. So now two integration formula you must be memorizing before. What are those? Integration of dx is x. Integration of dx by x is ln x. Remember those two integration. So this is integration of dx by x. So minus of ln x Ca naught to Ca equals to k is a constant. Integration of dt is t 0 to t. So minus we can keep it as it is ln Ca minus ln Ca naught equals to k t minus 0. Then what I can take minus inside. Then I can write ln Ca naught minus ln Ca is equals to kt. Correct? Or could be written as k equals to 2.303 by t log m minus log n could be written as log m by log n. Right? So log Ca naught by Ca. Copy this. Done. Now what happens is, this is K. Then what happens? Half-life. There is one more concept called half-life. Now half-life is what? When t equals to t1 by 2. When t equals to t1 by 2. t1 by 2 means half-life, half-time. Then Ca is equals to Ca naught by 2. This is half of the reactant has been reacted or half of the reactant is remaining. I take this equation. What is the equation? K equals to 2.303 by T log of Ca naught by Ca. This you have to memorize it. If you memorize this in the exam, you can able to get the answer very fast. So K 2.303 by T becomes T1 by 2, which I want to find out. I want to find out how much time is required of formula. Log of Ca naught as it is, but Ca will become CA naught by 2. CA naught get cancelled, 2 goes to numerator. K equals to 2.303 by T1 by 2. Log of 2. TR goes this side. 2.303 into log 2 is known as 0.3010 by K. And if you multiply this to, we get 0.693 by K, which is also equals to ln 2 by K. That is TR. TR equals to ln 2 by K or 0.693 by K. Done? Okay. Then one more relation we can write down, which is in terms of degree of dissociation, which is x. It is denoted by CA naught minus CA by CA naught. So you divide by CA naught. It will become 1 minus CA by CA naught. You take CA this side to, so you will get CA by CA naught equals to 1 minus x. You reverse this. CA naught by CA equals to 1 by 1 minus x. This is the formula here. So if you take that, put it here, what you get? K equals to 2.303 by T log of 1 by 1 minus x. Now your formula in terms of degree of dissociation. Question. Find out time required for first order kinetics to be completed by 25% when K is 0.693 minute inverse. Solve. Solve that question fast. How much time is required? Will you be able to solve this question or not? Are you people solving this question? Okay. Are we done? Tell fast. Darshan, the answer is 2 minutes or you want 2 minutes? Okay, so we see the question. Find out the time required for the first order kinetics. First order kinetics, but what they are given? Completed by 25%. So x is given 25%. It means what? X is 0.25. So we take that formula k equals to 2.303 by t log of 1 minus 0.25. Right? This time you want to find, and k is given 0.693 equals to 2.303 by t log of 1 by, this could be written as 0.75, 7.75 could be written as 100 by 75, this could be written as 4 by 3. Right? Then t will come here 2.303 by 0.693 log of 4 minus log of 3. This factor could be broken into 2.303 into 0.3010. Right? Log 4 could be written as 2 log 2. 2 log 2 is 0.6990. Not 6990. 6020 minus log 3 is 0.4771. 2.3030 gets cancelled. T equals to, what is remaining is 9, 5, not 5, 4, then 2 and 1. 0.1249, 0.3010. So that cancel out somewhere 1 by 3 minutes. Understood, beta? All people, have you understood? You have understood this concept or not? Tell fast. So tomorrow classes will be the same timing because physics class is not there. So that you will come to know in the evening time. Okay, whether the class will be on the same time or not. Okay, understood, Anand? In the today evening you will get to know this. Okay, then now next this side. Zero order kinetics. Zero order kinetics. Now zero order kinetics is A gives rise to P product R equals to K Ca power 0 because order is 0, which could be equals to dCA by dt with a minus sign. So minus dCA by dt equals to K because Ca power 0, any power 0 is equals to 1. Any power 0 equals to 1. So we get Ka only. So then we get dCA equals to minus K dt integration 0 to t Ca naught to Ca. So we get Ca minus Ca naught equals to minus K t minus 0. Or I can write Ca naught minus Ca equals to Kt. Understood? Now this is in normal equation. What would be at t equals to t1 by 2? T equals to t1 by 2 will get Ca naught minus Ca naught by 2 equals to Kt1 by 2. So T1 by half equals to Ca naught by 2K. So you have to memorize the T half formulas also for different order. Okay, so now what happens is we get these values. Then I'm going to write this equation in terms of x also. So that is very easy. If you take this, you look at this equation and you want to find Ca naught minus Ca how much? That could be multiply this value to that side. So we will get Ca naught x. Ca naught x. So here what I can write is, instead of here I can write Ca naught x equals to Kt. This will be equation in degree of dissociation. Copied. Okay, one more point is there. We need to also understand the unit of K. Okay, so unit of K goes like this. Units of K. So R equals to K Ca power n. This is unit is moles per liter per second. K unit we want to find out. Ca is moles per liter power n. So unit of K becomes moles per liter power 1 minus n second inverse, or K becomes moles 1 minus n liter n minus 1 second inverse, or K becomes molar 1 minus n second inverse. Done, beta? So I taught you first order, I taught you zero order. Now I'm going to teach you directly nth order. Nth order kinetics will work for any type of order, except n is equals to 1. If n is equal to 1, follow first order kinetics. If n is not equals to 1, any value, follow this formula which I am going to write. You will have a correct answer. Understand? Okay, so we write like this. A equals to A gives you P. R equals to K Ca power n, which is equals to minus dCa by dt. So I'll say minus dCa by Ca power n equals to K dt. Integration 0 to t Ca naught to Ca. Now, whenever you integrate x power n dx, it comes as x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Right? Here the power is minus n. So that minus we write it there. Okay? Then what happens is this. Ca power minus n plus 1 minus n plus 1. Ca naught to Ca minus Kt. Now this will become 1 minus n. So I can write 1 minus n outside. And this can come in denominator, then it will become power 1 minus n. So Ca 1 minus n, Ca and Ca naught equals to minus Kt. Now 1 by 1 minus n, put Ca. So 1 by Ca 1 minus n minus 1 by Ca naught 1 minus n bracket minus Kt. This is the equation for nth order. So this is the equation for nth order. 1 by 1 minus n bracket 1 by Ca power 1 minus n minus 1 by Ca naught power 1 minus n equals to minus Kt. Now if I say this is applicable for all the cases except n equals 1, is it applicable for n equals to 0? So we try. Put n equals to 0. Put n equals to 0. When you put n equals to 0, 1 by 1 minus 0. This is 0, so this becomes 1. This becomes 0. This becomes 0. Correctly. So what we get here is 1 by Ca minus 1 by Ca naught equals to minus Kt. Understand? Okay, so we'll take an LCM, we'll get Ca naught minus Ca equals to Kt. This above formula will be applicable to any type of nth order. Okay? Understood. Say on this side now. Okay. So question. Find out the time required for first order kinetics to completed by 75% with k equals to 2.303 minute inverse. Solve this question once. Okay, there is one correction here. This is 1 minus n goes outside, but when you make Ca power in the denominator, Right now it is 1 minus n, but when you keep it in the denominator, it will become n minus 1. Okay, so here you will get both sides, n minus 1, n minus 1. Then n is 0, here you will get power 1, power 1. Okay, so when power is minus 1, it will become Ca minus Ca naught equals to minus Kt, or minus multiplication inside, so Ca naught minus Ca equals to Kt. Understand now? So when I take a power in the denominator, minus multiplication will happen. Okay, solve this question now. Are you people solving this question? Okay, so you have gotten the answer. We'll see now. Formula will use K equals to 2.303 by T log of 1 by 1 minus x. K is given 2.303 equals to 2.303 by T log of 1 by 1 minus 0.75. This cancel. So T equals to log of 1 by this will become 0.25. 0.25 100. 4. So T equals to 2 log 2. It means what? 2 into 0.3010. It means T equals to what? Yes, 3 people have gotten the correct answer. Narayan, Prithvi and Satwik. Good job. Okay. Okay, now we have next concept called Arrhenius equation. So Arrhenius equation, when you talk about it, this is a place where you have reactant, this is a place where you have product. This is enthalpy or energy diagram. This is y-axis is energy, x-axis is extent of reaction. Okay. Then what happens is, this is known as HR, this is known as HP. Enthalpy of reactant, HP is enthalpy of product. Enthalpy of product. Okay. Then what happens? What is this point? This point is known as from here to there. Okay. So this is a gap here. This value is known as EAF. EAF, activation energy of forward direction. So this gap is known as EAB, activation energy of backward direction. Activation energy of backward direction. Okay. Then what happens? This value, this difference is known as delta HR. Delta HR is known as enthalpy of reaction. So delta HR is also equals to HP, this value. Okay. HR is this. Delta HR is this. So if you take HR plus delta HR, you will get what? HP. Delta HR plus enthalpy of reactant is equals to what? Enthalpy of product. So delta HR equals to what? HP minus HR. Or EAF is this. So EAB plus delta HR equals to what? EAF. That means delta HR equals to what? EAF minus EAB. So this is enthalpy of product. This is what? Enthalpy of reactant. This is what? Activation energy of forward. This is what? Activation energy of backward. Understand? Understood all this? Now I am going to write Arrhenius equation. Okay, Arrhenius equation is K equals to A e power minus EA by RT. K is known as rate constant. A is known as Arrhenius factor. EA already I told. Activation energy. R is gas constant. T is temperature. Okay, done. E is exponential. E is exponential. E is exponential. Copied all this. This is very, very important. Whatever I have written on this slide of the board. Copy all this. Is this copied by all? Okay, next here. Next is known as temperature coefficient. It is denoted as K2 by K1, which means K at T plus 10 Kelvin, K at T Kelvin. That means what? K at 35 or something like this. K at 273 Kelvin, 283 Kelvin, then K here will come at 273 Kelvin. It means you will write a formula for K with this formula, but T here you will write 283, here you will write 273. Means it's a ratio of two rate constant whose values is calculated at two different temperature. The gap between two temperature is 10. And this value generally lies between 2 to 3. This value generally lies between 2 to 3. Copied this also. Okay, so now, that's all in the chemical kinetics chapter. Now we have one more last chapter to teach, which is coordination compound. Coordination compound. Coordination compound. Okay. Now in this case of coordination compound, let's take a compound called K4 FeCN6. This is a compound. Now in this compound, whenever we have a coordination compound, there are things which we need to memorize first, which we need to understand first. What are those things? Those things are 6 things are there. Okay. What is the first thing? First thing is known as ionization sphere. So ionization sphere is that ion which does not have transition metal. Ionization sphere is that ion which does not have transition metal. It means what? K. K is ionization sphere. Then another one is known as coordination sphere. Coordination sphere, which means it has D block metal. So this is a coordination sphere. This is coordination sphere. Once you have coordination sphere, the next point is known as central. Next point is known as central metal ion. Central metal ion is the metal present inside coordination sphere. That is central metal ion. The next thing is known as coordination number, which is equals to what? Which is equals to number of coordinate bond. Number of coordinate bond formed around central metal ion. Number of coordinate bond formed around central metal ion. That is coordination number. Now in this case, Cn will form single coordinate bond. But there are how many? 6. So 6 is your coordination number. So how many things I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing is known as ligand. Next thing is known as ligand. What is ligand? The species which forms coordinate bond. Means the species which forms coordinate bond is known as ligand. So what is ligand here? Cn is ligand here. The next and the last thing. This is 5 things I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is known as oxidation number. Now oxidation number I already taught you definitions. Okay, so how do I solve this? So we take this compound, we keep it like this. 4K plus Fe plus 6C plus 6L equals to 0. Understand? Then K I know plus 1, Fe I don't know, C I don't know, L I don't know. Fe would be plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 0. Carbon minus 4 to plus 4. Nitrogen minus 3 to plus 5. They are having range. So in order to calculate the oxidation number here, we don't break carbon and nitrogen. And instead of writing this, we write, this is wrong way, okay? Correct way is this. 4K plus Fe plus 6Cn is equal to 0. I don't break ligands. That's why it is important you to find out what is ligands. Because once if you find out wrong ligand, you will break the other thing. If you know the ligand, you will not break the ligand. That is the importance. If you know the ligand, you know direct charge on ligands. That's why you will not break the ligand. So 4, potassium is plus 1, Fe. Here you don't know charge on carbon and nitrogen individually. But do you know charge on Cn minus? Yes, charge on Cn minus is minus 1. Understand the importance? If you break it, you will get, you don't have answer, you cannot proceed after this. But if you do not break Cn, then you can solve this. So plus 4 plus Fe minus 6 equals to 0, Fe minus 2 equals to 0, Fe equals to plus 2. So iron isn't present in plus 2 oxidation state. Understood? Okay, what is the doubt? So how can we know the order of a reaction in a chemical equation? Better, Darshan, you are not listening when I am teaching. See this side. Okay, I gave her one reaction like this. H2O2 gives rise to H2O plus half O2. If this is a single step reaction, the order is equals to stoichiometric coefficient. Order is equals to stoichiometric coefficient for case of elementary reaction. So by looking at the reaction, how much order? First order. If this reaction instead of this reaction is given. H2 plus Cl2 gives rise to 2HCl. The order is, tell me order here. All people, what is the order here? What is the order? The order is 2. 1 mole, 1 mole added with 2. Understood? Darshan, your doubt got cleared or not? Darshan, your doubt got cleared? Can we proceed after this? Okay. So I'm going to give you one compound. You need to tell me all whatever 6 things are calculated here till now. Can we do that? Six things. Are you able to solve this or not? So, this is ionization sphere. Nickel is central metal ion. This whole is coordination sphere. NH3 is ligand, 4 is coordination number, then oxidation number. So we write nickel plus 4 NH3 plus 2 Cl equals to 0. Ni plus 4 ammonia is 0, plus 2 minus 1 equals to 0. Ni minus 2 equals to 0. Ni equals to plus 2. Understood? Okay, next heading is theory. Effective atomic number. Effective atomic number, which is denoted by EAN. So EAN is equals to Z minus oxidation number. EAN equals to Z minus oxidation number plus 2 into coordination number. Effective atomic number equals to Z. What is Z? Atomic number. What is ON? Oxidation number. What is CN? Coordination number. Now what happens is, I am going to solve this question full board. I am going to find EAN for this compound, okay? So how do I find Z? Z for nickel. Tell me all, 25 people. What is a Z for nickel? What is Z for nickel? What is Z for nickel? What is Z for nickel? How much is Z for nickel? Tell me. So nickel Z is 28 minus oxidation number. Nickel is having 2 plus. Hey, who is writing Emil Chena? Not 58. Don't do easy mistake. These are easy mistake. Plus minus 2 plus 2 into coordination number. Coordination number is 4. So 28 minus 2, 26 plus 4 to 8. 34. Try for this. K4FeCN whole 6. How much EAN for this? Solve for this. How much EAN? How much EAN for K4FeCN whole 6? Thirty is what? 30 is not the effective atomic number for this compound. We'll see now. This is the compound. First I have done this compound, right? So iron is 26. The minus 2 oxidation number plus 2 into 6. So what happens? 26 minus 2, 24 plus 12. We get 36. 36 is an oxidation atomic number of krypton. 36 is atomic number of krypton. So whenever, this is theory, whenever EAN is near to inert gas, whenever EAN of any compound, whenever EAN is very near to inert gas configuration, those compounds are very stable. Those compounds are very stable. Those compounds are very stable. Okay, now this side. Next topic is IUPAC naming. IUPAC naming. Now this is not IUPAC naming of organic compound. This is IUPAC naming of inorganic compound, especially coordinating compounds. How do I write? First we write name of cation plus name of anion. This is the name. This is IUPAC name. First we write name of cation plus name of anion. The way I told you in organic chemistry, primary prefix plus root word plus primary suffix plus secondary suffix. The way this is the formula. Now, if complex ion is cation, if complex ion is cation means here you are having that coordination sphere, then how do you write the name? Then we write prefix plus central metal ion plus oxidation number in Roman numerals. Prefix means all those ligands name. Central metal ion, which is metal, iron, nickel, oxidation number in Roman numerals. This is important. Roman numerals. Next point is, if complex ion is anion. If complex ion is anion, then what we write? We write prefix. This prefix is for what? For ligands. So same here, this prefix is also for ligands plus central metal ion plus ATE. This is important. This is the difference between that and this. ATE will add, such as you get a metal here, iron, so you write ferrate. If you get lead, so you write plumbate. ATE will come at the last plus oxidation number in open bracket, but in Roman numerals. Understand? And naming of ligand. Naming of ligand. Okay, naming of ligand means what happens is IDE, ATE, ITE. Is converted into IDO, ATO, ITO. Basically chloride. Now it becomes chlorido. Sulfate becomes sulfato. Chloride, sulfite becomes sulfito. Understood? Now we'll do naming. So first we take the easiest, K4FeCN whole 6. K4FeCN 6. So now I want to write name. This is normal cation. This is anion. This is anion. So anion will, so it means this line is followed. If the complex ion is anion, means I have to write in this manner. What is cation? Cation is normal. So its name will become potassium. Because cation name, what is cation? Potassium. Potassium. Now I have to write this complex anion. This visual, no? Okay, complex anion. Prefix for ligand. Ligand is CN. What is the name of CN? Cyanide. Cyanide. IDE. Cyanide. So it will become cyanido. It will become cyanido. But how many? 6. So potassium hexacyanido. Now this is iron. Central metal ion. Ferrum. But ferrate. 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 Oxidation number is 2. Just now we have calculated. So it becomes potassium hexacyanido ferrate. Now what happens is, as these are widely used, IUPAC has given another name for it. Not for all, only for some of them. Potassium hexacyanoferrate second. Understand? So can you write the name for this? Write me the name of this. Can you write me the name for this compound? Your answer is incorrect. The oxidation number is written with its copper name. Okay, so as you see here now, Syam, this and this, full. Okay, so what happens is, this is cation. If the complex ion is cation, we have to follow this. So prefix is ammonia. Prefix is ammonia. Prefix is ammonia. Prefix is ammonia. Now prefix of ammonia, we cannot write amino. We can't write amino, okay? Because when the ligand is neutral, they have their own name. NH3 is known as amine. Water is known as aqua. Water is known as aqua. CO is known as carbonyl. So we have to use a word called amine. Okay, so amine. Be more attentive. There are double M. There are double M always. Tetraamine copper. Tetraamine copper, because central metal ion. No ATE here. plus oxidation number. So you have to find oxidation number. Cu plus 4NH3 plus SO4 equals to 0. This is minus 2, 0. So copper is in plus 2. So copper second sulfate. Tetramine copper sulfate. Right? Yes or no? So can you solve one more? Try solving this. K3CrC2O4 twice. Are you people solving or not? So Narayan has solved potassium trioxalato. Incorrect. Not chromium. It is anion. So chromate and not in 3. In Roman numerals. So potassium this is oxalate. So oxalato. Trioxalato chromate. Now we have to find out the oxidation number here, okay? So 3K plus Cr plus 3C2O4 equals to 0. Plus 3 plus Cr minus 6 equals to 0 because this is in minus 2. So we get Cr in 3 plus. Chromate third. Darshan, we don't use space. We don't use space. This whole is a single word. From here to there is a single word. Is a single word. Understand? Okay, so can you solve one more? Okay, try to solve this. AgNH3 twice Cl. Solve that question fast. What is the name? The name is only one people has given. No Prithvi, not silver. not argentum also. Silver is correct only. So here Ag will get +1 charge. What we write is diamine, double M, diamine silver first chloride, or you can write diamine argentum 1 chloride. Do not write 8. It means don't write this argentate. This is incorrect. Diamine silver 1 chloride or diamine argentum AUM argentum chloride, both are correct. One more I'll write, okay? K2PdCl4. K2PdCl4. Solve this. Solve fast. What is the answer? Tell. Okay, so the name goes potassium tetrachlorido, potassium tetrachlorido palladiate. Now second, understand? Understood beta, all people? Okay, the next one is called hybridization. Hybridization I've already told you. Let's say you want to do for K4FeCN6. You want to find out the shape, okay? You want to find out the shape for this. The first thing you need to do is you need to find oxidation number of iron. Iron electronic configuration is 26. 4s2 3d6. But in this case iron is getting +2 charge. So 2 plus means 4s0 3d6. Then you will draw a box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4s, 4p. Okay. Then what happens? Depending on the ligand, So Cn minus greater than NO2 minus greater than En Py H2O FCl Bri. This is priority order. Okay, then what happens is, if the from here to there is strong, from here to there weak. If you have a strong field ligand, then what happens is pairing will take place. So these 4 electrons will move here. Okay, how many coordinate bond you want to form? 6. So you will take 6 atomic orbital. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From here to there, what is the configuration you will write? How many D you have taken? 2. So D2. How many S? 1. How many P? 3. So D2sp3, its shape will come as octahedral shape. Its shape will come as octahedral. And if you want to draw iron Cn, 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 Cn. Cn, Cn. And 2 plus, sorry, not 2 plus, 4 plus, 4 minus, and K plus 4. Understand? D2sp3. That's how we find hybridization. So there are basically 4 types of hybridizations are there, which are as follows. So D2sp3 or sp3d2 both will give you octahedral, but this will give you inner orbital, this will give you outer orbital. Then next one is dsp2, it will give you square planar. Then sp3, which will give you tetrahedral, Understand now? Okay, so that's all for today, and that's all for our class also. We are going to finish up the syllabus today. Now this side. Okay. So these are the 3 chapters in homework. First one is chemical kinetics, which I have taught today. Second one is coordination compound, which also I have taught. Both the exercise will come in your group. Third chapter is metallurgy. This chapter you need to read from NCERT. You will get the exercises. Try to solve these exercises of all 3 chapters. If you have doubts, so basically I think tomorrow I will not take class, and because today is a wind-up class now. Then what happens is, if you have doubts in any of 3, so you can ask in WhatsApp group, you can ask me in Telegram group also, or you can comment in YouTube channel also. My YouTube channel is there, you can comment there also, that do you have doubts in which chapter, which question number, I'll give you solution on that basis. Okay, but you have to solve all 3 chapters, and do one thing, whatever I have taught last 25 days, try to revise all those notes together. Okay, while revising the notes, you might get some doubts again. So if you get doubts again, you ask me again. So there are plenty ways to find out, and I'll give you my number also. So my number is 7669286938. Do not call on this number, because no one will pick you any call on this number, provided you can send WhatsApp message or text message, whichever question you have doubt in this. Okay, try to solve all 3 chapters, and you will get exercises today only, and we'll meet next time. Okay, thank you again, thank you all.